YouTube, or at least go. We should be live any second now. And oh, this is interesting. This is something new. Huh. On air list. Oh. That's something new. The layout on the bus software has changed. Okay. Oh, never mind. Never mind. No, it hasn't changed. I changed it. So
well, that's new.
That's me being again. This has just been a whole kind of week of just me being stupid for no reason, man.
No, it's there.
I think it's something in the air or something, man. I don't know.
You're on 27 shows. Come on, you're on like 27 shows. I mean, like every single show except for except for Peak Trans and except for Hurricane Girls.
Right, and if I was trans, I'd be on both of those too. Jesus fuck. I didn't. It was close, but I did not swear. No swear jar on that one. Ha ha. So it is 6 o'clock. It's Tech Tuesday, and you are here watching, possibly listening to the Help Desk, and we are here to help. I'm your host. I am Gilbert, also known as the Angry IT Nerd, and with me, as always, the greatest co-host in all of the internets. He is George, also known as Techno George. George, say hello to the people, man. How are you doing, bro?
I am doing fine. Hello out there in computer land. Gotta change my name here. Apparently, Zoom does not like Techno George for some reason. But okay, whatever.
Well,
okay.
Zoom can kick rocks, then. They won't let you change your name. So, I read an article a little bit earlier today that Elon and his minions, the Doge, or
douchebags of government efficiency, yes,
absolutely, Elon and the BMP, decided that they're going to lay off, like, I think it was like 60 or 90 cybersecurity employees. And these are all red team ones. So within cybersecurity, for anybody that's listening, within cybersecurity, it breaks down for doing pen testing into two groups. A red team, basically your attack team, and your blue team, which is your defense team. So the purpose of it is to basically see, to test the security of whatever building, whatever, entity, whatever the case may be. So red team's goal is to go with by every means necessary that they can, do whatever they can to achieve their goal, whether it be to get into a building, get into a server, whatever the case may be. They have free reign to do anything that they can to get into it. Of course, they do have their get out of jail free card. If they do get caught, they have a paper, saying that, hey, this is authorized by, the CISO to say that, hey, we do work here and this is our job to break in.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, if they let go of all of these red team people, we have no idea on what would be vulnerable and what's not vulnerable within our security. And if the only thing that we have are just blue team and we have no red team, so that just, again, leaves us wide open to any kind of attack.
We just created a lot of red team people.
Yep.
And we don't even know it.
Exactly. And all it's going to take is just $5 million a piece. And they can come and go as they please. And we have our own red team, but yeah, this red team is not going to be the good kind of red team. It's going to be the bad kind of red team.
Maybe from the red state. You never know.
Yes. So yeah. Again, we should be terrified. Absolutely scared. Because why? Yeah.
I'm terrified that the front bumpers on the Cybertrucks are just coming off because they're glued on.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes. Holy
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be put on with an industrial glue, and I can understand that because a lot of the, I've seen the industrial glues, but as they're, I mean, they shouldn't be applied to plastic. Metal being applied to metal is fine. Metal being applied to plastic and then to metal is not fine.
Yeah. That's an issue. So
yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Elon, those Cybertrucks, man. Oh my God. And then with his spaceships blowing up, and it's not looking good for him, man. Not looking good for him. People are predicting
they lucked out when they did that transfer crew with SpaceX to the space station, and they grabbed those other two astronauts. Those people were in outer space long. I mean, they were in weightlessness like longer than any other human alive.
Yeah.
Like, when the hell are they coming to get us?
Is that I know they're. Oh. Yeah, I know they're just have no idea just the kind of just anxiety that's going through their heads right now. Just oh my God. Man. Man, oh man. Bruh.
No more 3D pizza. I gotta wait.
Oh my God. So
I did see a sign. I saw a sign on a Cybertruck. Somebody posted it. It said, I would egg your Cybertruck, but the eggs are too expensive or something like that.
Oh my God, yeah, but see them with the Cybertruck, they're so just buggy and faulty and everything like that, man. It is they will fall apart. Like
the best one was the guy who did he did a test if you're working on the interior of the Cybertruck and the trunk closes on you. The trunk is basically like a giant shutter, and the shutter closes. It goes on a track, and it closes. Apparently, there's supposed to be some sort of a safety device that allows you to gain access to the circuit that actually will unlock it again.
Okay.
And he said, if you don't know where this circuit is, you're going to be, if you live in Arizona, or you live in Death Valley or something like that, and you get locked in your truck while you're there, you'll just cook. So
yeah.
But he did this whole whole thing, this whole tutorial and stuff. And it's like it's like I'm so glad I don't have a lot of money to buy any of that. I mean, they can't maneuver in the snow.
They can't do anything. It's just big and clunky and ugly, and it's just what actual purpose do they serve? I mean,
well,
like I understand that essentially they're get a point A to point B type of thing, but unless the road is like completely straight and
Like unless the road is completely straight, unless the temperature of the weather is temperate, like in the 70s.
right.
There are no obstacles. There's no snow, no mud, no sand, no nothing. People are just taking these things out, and they just And the one the one guy I remember in Pennsylvania, I think I think when they were first introduced, I
Hmm.
don't know if it was Pennsylvania or Colorado. He took it up to the mountains to go get a Christmas tree, for Christmas, and he drove it.
Yeah.
He drove it in the snow, but it was so cold that the alloy wheels cracked. So the
Hmm.
one wheel cracked, and it came off. It basically came off of the wheel
Yeah.
base,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the whole thing just came right off. And he was like, "I can't believe it cracked. I paid so much money for this car." And I was like, "Well,
I mean,
what do you want? It's not it's not an off-road,
yeah. I mean,
vehicle."
the conditions have to be so within such a specific range. It's just like it's not worth driving
Yeah,
because it's too cold. Then it's going to mess with the operating system on board with it because it can't handle the cold like that. If
the
it gets
bet was
too
it
hot, then
the funniest one was the guy in Alabama getting pulled over from the Alabama state trooper. Was it Alabama or Tennessee? He gets pulled over from the state trooper, and the guy goes, "You can't have this big screen in your car." And he goes, "Well, you don't understand, officer. This is part of the car." And he goes, "You can't have that big screen in the car, all those stuff. We
right.
prohibit you having a TV in your car." He goes, "You don't understand. It's not a TV. It is
It's
part of the car. It is huge.
yeah.
So
It's
they
a
have that huge screen." And he
right.
was trying to tell the officer, and the officer was like
So yo,
going, yeah.
you can't have a TV in your car,
He goes, "Well,
and
I
it's like
can't
it's
take
not
it
a
out."
said it's not a TV.
He tried to just,
And again, it's just there's so many design flaws with it,
yeah,
and just from the design and the look of it, and how it operates, and then with that we've seen that if any glitch or a bug in the operating system, then the doors lock and people have gotten locked in and they've died
yeah,
because of just it being faulty.
yeah.
And
I helped the was when I lived in California. I had to go get gas before I went to work one morning. And there was this woman. She had a Tesla, and it was her boyfriend's Tesla, and she brought it to the gas station. And I'm like, okay, this does not take gasoline. And
right,
she's looking
she's
for
looking for
for
the
like
the
to get
thing to put the
like the
gas in.
gas,
Yeah.
yeah, the gas. And I'm like, man, like, miss, it does not take gasoline. I said, pull the car around over here. I'll show you where you have to plug in. So she went, and she goes, "Oh, it wasn't a Tesla, it wasn't like
Hmm.
a Tesla charging station, but it was a charging station."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, how are we going to plug this in?" And I'm looking at the charging port on the station, and I'm looking at the charging
Uh
port in
huh.
the Tesla. And I was like, okay, maybe this. And the charging station basically had they had these interchangeable adapters that you can actually put onto, you know. And I'm looking at Tesla. I go, oh, here it is, Tesla. Plug it in, and then plug it in. It wasn't charging. She was
Right.
like down to like maybe 5%, of charge. Plug it in. I'm like, okay, it's not charging. How's it charge? And I had to figure it all out. Apparently, it charges through the app. You have a Tesla app on your phone.
Oh
And
God.
she didn't have the app. Her boyfriend had the app on his phone. She took it out to go shopping. And I was like, okay, let's put the app on your phone. So we found the app. And I was like, do you know his thing? She's like, well, she goes, no, I don't. I was like, you need to call him. So I was like, I said, I'll stay here until you call him, gets all the information.
Right.
Everything's fine. And then it says, you had to basically, hook the app to the car. And once you did that, then the charging station, when you charge the car, it takes so much money that you're using the charging station. So it's like filling up for gas, but you're using the electricity. So you're using the Tesla charger, and it's monitored through the app. It's not like you just go to the charging station and you plug in. You have to actually pay for it. So you have to pay for it through the app, which is a real pain in the ass. Excuse my language, but
from the way you're describing it,
do the thing, and then you go, and then because what'll happen is once you plug in and you're charging it, the app will communicate with the car. The car will communicate with the app, and it'll tell the app how long to charge for a full charge, how long to charge for like a 50% charge or whatever. So she just wanted to charge the whole car fully, and she figured it was going to be like
the same as about
a gasoline,
like gas.
like a gasoline, powered car where you just fill up in like a couple of seconds or maybe a couple minutes.
Right.
And this thing was going to take, this thing was going to take like an hour. It's going to take like an hour and 45 minutes to charge, full charge. I mean, it was still pretty.
Well, I mean, but still, yeah, I know it's charging up, its battery or whatnot, but Jesus,
it was like an hour. Yeah. It was more than an hour. I told her, I said, okay, here's what you do. You keep this here. You charge the thing. I was like, but if you have to go anywhere, like if you want to go shopping, because the shopping center that she was in, she said, well, I have to go shopping. I said, okay, you can go shopping. The app would alert you if somebody tries to pull the thing out,
right,
and charge their car with it. It'll alert you to that, but because it would interrupt the transaction and interrupt the actual charging. The actual charging mode. I said, okay, if anything is happening to the car, you could see it right here on the app. She goes, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I didn't know how to do it and all this. I was like, no problem. She goes, do you live here in California? I said, no. I said, no, I live in New Jersey. I said, I'm just like a techno nerd, so I know how to do all this stuff. She said, thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. So she leaves. Right. And, I get gas, I go to work. And, I mean, I didn't hear from her again. I didn't see her. I was like, okay, great. But there was another person one time in front of me going to the gas station, trying to find, the gas, the gas, port, trying to
find the gas tank. Yeah. For,
and
for an electric car.
Don't know where it is. The funniest thing that I saw was,
oh my God,
the road care, the Tesla road care, when they when you run out of charge and you're in the middle of nowhere, they come with a car, and the car has a gas powered generator, which charges the car because it's all battery powered. And I'm like, okay. But the one, because I remember the Rivians, I told my wife this. The Rivians were is another car company. they make trucks, and they make really good trucks. They're they're a hell of a lot better than the Cybertruck. They have a lot of torque, all sorts of stuff. They can get out of snow. They can actually go over, rocks and stuff like that, and up large inclines. They have a lot of torque, but it's a totally electric truck. At one point, I believe that they were selling something called the EcoFlow, and the EcoFlow is it's a battery. It's like a battery backup, basically.
Right.
If you go onto EcoFlow's website, they sell different ones. For different criteria. So, like, they have like the River 2 if you're going to go camping. It's a smaller one, has a little handle on it. It's a battery, it's like a battery backup power, generator.
All right.
But it's all battery powered. You can charge it through solar if you want to.
All right.
The one we have for our house has a little bit of solar. We have like 2 solar cells, and then we can charge it up. It's actually for our backup pumps, which are downstairs in the basement, to take the water out.
Okay.
And it's actually monitored through an app. You can monitor through your app, like through your phone, and you can see what the app is. Actually, I could show it to you. Let me see. Let's see if I can.
Well, all I can say is this, man. The steps after going through and charging up a Tesla.
This is the I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I can see that.
It's kind of like, but it's on one side is it's coming from the wall. The other side could be like from solar. And it'll tell you how many amps it is.
Okay.
But
all right. I would say the steps I'm going through to charge that, to charge a Tesla up, it baffles me why someone would want it. I mean, I could kind of partially understand the whole viewpoint of, we're saving the environment, because it's using energy, it's not using fossil fuels, blah blah blah. Okay, but there's so many cons with it. There's
a lot of cons because of the infrastructure. The infrastructure is not there. I mean, they did put solar charging, they did put some solar charging station. They
had to put like some kind of solar paneling or like solar panel option, for the car, because because just being randomly, stuck out in the middle of nowhere like that. I mean,
right. I mean, like here in Pennsylvania, they do have some Tesla charging stations. They put them all over. They're trying to, I guess, increase the infrastructure of that.
Right.
But the cars are so damn expensive. And I'm like, okay, well, the car is expensive, number one.
Right.
The electric car market is not really there yet. The battery technology,
it is a very, very small niche market. And and so it's like once somebody has one, then it's like, why buy another one? I mean, so.
Well, okay. So the pros of electric are, if it's totally electric,
right?
The pros of that are, you don't need gasoline, so you don't need an internal combustion engine, because the internal combustion engine uses a battery, a starter, oil. You need.
Well, you
need transmission fluid.
All your fluids.
You need all these different fluids.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have the wear and tear on the cylinders, the oil, all this other stuff.
Right.
With electric cars, you have a 240 volt generator or a 240 volt motor, which is powered by a battery.
All right.
You have two. Is it two speeds? I think it's like a high and it's a high, a low, and a mid speed. I believe so. You're
Okay.
with it. You're not. So it's basically just an automatic. It's like a big glorified automatic. The only things to go wrong on Teslas are the distribution power chip, which is part of the battery array, or the bearings on the motor. The bearings for the coil in the motor. Those are the only two things that could are really really bad about it.
All right.
When people put it through their paces, like I've seen Teslas on the road when it's like icy and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, well, that's fine, but heat and cold kill batteries.
Yeah.
Especially the AGM batteries that we have in our internal combustion engine cars. AGM is absorbent glass mat. So it's a glass mat that actually has absorbed like lead acid with certain terminals inside the battery to create that electric charge. The alternator, of course, hooked to the engine, charges that battery so that we have cranking power to start the car. Okay, that's fine. But as it's running, it needs to basically, keep that 12 volt, 12 to 24 volt, whatever it is, power to power the engine. I get that. Okay, you have spark plugs, all that stuff. With electric car, you don't have that. You don't need spark plugs because you're not burning gasoline.
Right.
You basically just have like a giant skateboard with batteries on it.
In seats, basically, yeah.
Yeah. In seats. The battery technology just isn't there yet. The phosphate batteries, the lithium. All right, so there's lithium polymer batteries, which are a dime a dozen now. You can get them on Temu or AliExpress. But they have lithium phosphate batteries, which last a little bit longer. The newest battery that NASA has come up with is something called a solid state battery, and it's a salt. It's a sodium battery, I believe. Those batteries are very, very expensive. Like so expensive, only NASA can buy them and put them on spacecraft because they last a long time. They'll last like I believe their tests were that they could last like 65 years for those batteries.
Damn.
Usually Tesla batteries, the battery array, are lithium polymer batteries. Lithium ion batteries will last I think like maybe 10 years. I think it was like 10 years. So the car would like for 10 years. So it's not good for people like me who keep their who keep their cars good for 10 or more years.
Right.
I like
not for me either, because
every car I've had, I've always kept it going.
So basically until
make sure the oil is done every 3,000 miles. I mean, make sure this is done. Yeah,
you drove it until basically literally the wheels fell off of it, and then until you had to buy a new one. So the same way. So Michael Pruitt in the YouTube chat says that he just bought a Nissan Leaf.
Oh, the Leaf.
Yeah. So
I believe the Leaf is fully electric as well.
Yeah, it's fully electric. Yeah, and so it's from Nissan. So
if there's a standard port, well, actually, inside the Leaf, I think in the trunk area, if there is a utility port for power, I would get an EcoFlow. Just buy an EcoFlow. And if you can get the Delta Pro Max, that would be great. You take that, you charge it up fully, put it in the trunk, and then you could drive the car down to almost nothing. You would plug the EcoFlow, directly into the utility port in the back, and that thing it'll be like a secondary battery pack, like enough to get you home basically.
Yeah. So
But I remember the Chevy Volt.
now I remember a few years ago, I don't know what model car this was, but somebody had modified the electric car and just wrapped essentially the whole car in solar panels and accepted it, modified it to where it could do, plug up just at a regular charging station, but also, solar as well.
Mm-hmm. So it just charge in the sun.
So it always charges. So no matter what, he would never essentially run out of gas.
Yeah. There was I think it was invented by a British engineer. He invented a paint that you can paint a car with that had it had photovoltaic crystals inside the paint. So when you painted the car, it looked like just regular paint job, but it could absorb the sun. But like imagine getting into an accident with that car. You'd be like, oh my God, like that paint job would be so expensive.
Oh my God, man. Sometimes it's insane just the cost of just stuff like that you just don't think that it should be that expensive, but it's like, why is it so expensive? And my whole thing is that, again, okay, cool, great for the environment, whatnot, but having like an onboard whole operating system computer type of thing, that's where it has to operate 100% flawless if you're going to go that route with it and want to have it connect to your phone. Then it cannot falter at all, like at all. Otherwise,
that's basically where your cybersecurity comes in.
Right.
If your app is hacked or your car is hacked, or
I mean,
flipper zero, got to get a flipper zero.
So essentially that's it. Because you get a flipper zero, then all of a sudden all the Cybertrucks and Teslas and everything else are going to get stolen, and nobody's going to know how it happened because, oh well, it's all in the app and it's supposed to be so secure. Blah blah blah. Nope.
Well, the was it because today we have like wireless key fobs, and we just walk up to our car, we press a button, we open the door, we get in. We don't really think about if there's somebody in a car that is trailing us, or some, like if we went to like a supermarket, and usually you can't really know if anybody is trying to hack your code to get into your car.
Right.
So yeah, I remember seeing there was a report for Hack5 on hack5.org. They had vulnerabilities for, I believe, the Ford Explorer with the key fob, and there was a guy who figured out how to use a laptop to actually mimic the same code that you would have on your key fob. So when you went to your car and you hit the button on your key fob, you actually sent an unlock code or a lock code to the car, but his device would grab that code, and then he could basically take that code from his laptop, program it into a chip or whatever, and then create a small box to program another key fob.
Yeah.
So he basically bought the same, so he basically bought a key fob, which was the same type
of model of
same type of model as a car, and basically
just kind of
that code
uploaded
onto the key fob.
Yeah.
And he could get into the car and he could start it, and he could get into the like he can you could take the alarm system piece, or take the alarm system mode off of the car, get into the car, close the door, hit the button, because now it's a button, it's not a key, it's a button, and start it and just take off. And I'm like, that's really scary.
Yeah.
That was scary.
And again, that's because you're going through an app. And the thing is that if you're going through an app like that, it could get hacked while, you're trying to charge up you're charging up your Tesla.
Yep, charge up your Tesla, and all of a sudden you find out, you come outside and you're like,
it's gone.
Where's my car?
And all of a sudden it's gone. And then you look on the app and it's saying like, oh, your car is 100% finished, it's ready to done, blah, 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 blah. No notification or anything showed up about, hey, man, your car gone. Nothing came up like that.
The one thing I did like was, the funniest thing I've ever saw was somebody took the Tesla charging adapter and they modified it with this big magnet. And why this guy did this thing with a magnet, he was like going, what the hell? So what he did was, he could park in a space with an internal combustion car.
All right.
Open up the gas door. Take the charging thing and put it there, but it would basically stay there with the magnet, so it would look like it's charging, but it's really not an electric car, it's a gas car, so you could park in those Tesla parking spaces.
Oh my God.
I thought it was the coolest. I was like, dude, that is the coolest thing. And he made it because he 3D printed the piece. It fits right into where the gas cap does. And it had magnets. It had like 4 magnets that went to the thing, and then you could put the Tesla charging adapter in there. It looks like his car's charging, right? And nobody paid any attention to it. It wasn't a Tesla. It was like, I think it was
now, if you say something,
like a BMW or something like that. I don't know what it was, but he could park in the spot.
I thought if you were about to say something, it was like a Ford Focus.
Yeah, like a Ford Focus or it was funny. I almost when I was working at Intel, I was looking to get a new car, and I was like, oh, I got some money now, I can get a new car. And I was gonna get that Pontiac Aztek, the one that Walter White drove, from Breaking Bad. I looked at that thing, man. I was like, this thing is so cool. I was gonna get a Pontiac Aztek. It was a good thing I never bought it. It was just it was ugly as all hell. But
yeah, it is.
I think the Ford Focus, the Ford Focus just had come out, the Ford Focus. And then I was gonna get one of those other cars that there was a Ford Probe GT, which I almost bought, and that's Thomas. Yeah, that was Thomas's first car, I think.
So like here, I used to work with a dude that he had that same car.
Oh, what, the Aztek or the Ford Focus?
Ford Probe.
Oh,
and so look here, man. He loved that car. When I say he loved his car.
It was an interesting car. It reminded me of the Pontiac Sunbird. The Pontiac Sunbird hatchback, the red one.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. And it was it was okay. I think I had a Pontiac Pontiac Sunbird. Yeah. I had 80 I think I had an 84 Pontiac Sunbird that I bought. I bought it brand new.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was went through a million cars.
Oh yeah, he loved his car because basically it got him girls. So he loved his car.
The car I wish I still had was my first car. I had a Chevy Camaro 1967 Chevy Camaro RS Rally Sport. Had a black interior, candy apple red, with a paint on the outside. Beautiful car. Wish I still had that car, man. If I had sold that today, I could have made $80,000-$90,000. I don't know. They're probably going for like $45,000-$50,000. But I remember at the time they were like $3,000 in the '60s, which was a lot of money. It was like buying $3,000 car back in the '60s was like.
Well, I mean, by today's prices, it's
$50,000 car now.
Yeah. It's like you would be lucky if you get it at like 35, so.
Right. Those cars were built to last, man. You really couldn't steal the car. Well, I mean, you could steal it, but if you knew how to do it. But I mean, the steering column was just like steel, like 24 gauge steel.
So my first car, 1984 Oldsmobile Cutlass.
Oh,
I called it the Tank. That mother sucker was huge. Like it had a big bench seat at the front. So
was it the 4-door? Was it 4-door sedan? Or the 2-door?
No, it was 2-door.
Okay,
but it was gigantic.
It's a good car.
It was a great car.
My mother had a.
Oh yeah, it was a great car.
Had,
it's just
Cutlass Sierra, '84, Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra.
Oh yeah, great car.
Yeah.
It was
the 8-cylinder.
It was monstrous. It's just a monstrous car.
I'm trying. You had 80. Wait, I gotta look this up. 84. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I think my father had that. Wait a minute. Oldsmobile. Oldsmobile Cutlass. It wasn't the Cutlass Sierra. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
So yeah. It was maroon out maroon paint with like it wasn't like a bright red interior, but yeah. It's a monstrous car.
Good paint job. I mean, if you hit somebody on the road, they wouldn't find the blood for like a long time. No, I'm sorry. 84, yeah. For sale, 84 Oldsmobile Cutlass T-top, $15,995.
Yep.
Nice.
That was my first car. Again, good car. It was. It's just absolutely monstrous. Monstrosities. Monstrous. Monstrosities.
Monstrous.
It was a monstrosity and monstrous. It's a monstrous monstrosity all at once. I'm not sure what exactly.
Oh, this is this the
Oh,
horse on there? I have to see this.
Michael Pruitt says his sister hit a horse with her Pontiac Bonneville, killed it, and she walked away. God damn.
Oh. Yeah, I remember the Pontiac Bonneville.
Again, it's about one of those vehicles where it's just everything happened is just so far up front, like it doesn't even bother you at all.
Well, they were still doing they weren't doing chrome bumpers at that time. They were doing the plastic bumper. Or the plastic.
More than likely plastic.
The crumple zone. Yeah.
Yeah, more than likely because 80s was cheap.
My father
era.
had a 80. It was, he had a 1990 Ford Crown Victoria police car, like the chief's car,
right?
And, because he was chief police of the city, and he got it done at the place where they had all the like the police cars done. So it had like cop motor, cop suspension. It had this thing was a tank. It was a definite tank. It had this. Because I remember we had it had a cell phone in it. It had the full phone, and it was magnetically locked. So you had to hit the code to take the handset off, but it had a full handset.
Oh,
you used to go and talk on and everything.
Okay.
But it had the it had the side lights, like the search lights that were actually made into the wing, into like the wing well of the door. So you can actually like move the thing and turn it on. You can search with it. I love that car. That car was so cool.
Yeah. That. Oh man. Oh, that sounds so awesome.
That thing had chrome bumpers on it.
Yeah.
And the bumpers were hooked to a cop roll cage. So they made a special, they made like a special, like a superstructure for the car. But it had an 8-cylinder in it. That thing was like,
I see. If I couldn't have anything like that.
Like super pursuit mode.
I couldn't have anything like that. I could tell you that right now because I would use it. I could not have anything like that. I can tell you that right now because
an 8-cylinder or a 4-cylinder? Was it 4? Or no, it was 6, wasn't it? The Cutlass.
4-cylinder.
Was it 4-cylinder? My mother's was a 6. That thing used to go through gas. Like, and you just fill it up and bring it home. Like, geez, I gotta fill it up again.
I went through gas like crazy, but see, here's the thing, though. All right. At the time, gas prices weren't as crazy as they are now. So
yeah.
At the time when I was driving, the most expensive was of course 93, and that was $1. So what I did was it was Uber before it was Uber type of service. So yeah, I was known, for being the taxi, so so it never mattered. It didn't matter how much gas was to me because I always had gas money because I never paid for my own gas because I always gave everybody rides.
The friend taxi, yeah, there you go.
Yes, absolutely. I was like, hey, give me $5, I'll give you a ride. So give me $5, I'll give you a ride. Look, and it only at the time, and it only took about $5, sometimes $10 to fill my tank up. But I would end up at the end of the week with like, $20, $30.
Nice. Nice.
Just from giving people rides. So yeah, see those are the days, man. I never worried about it. I never worried about anything to do with my car because everybody else is paying for it. Oh my god! So Michael Pruitt says she hit his legs, flipped it up onto the Bonneville, and it died on all four legs straight up in the air. Oh Jesus! Ooh. Jesus Christ! The police covered it with a tarp. It looked like a big top. Jay Thomas, how you doing tonight? You doing tonight all right, fam? You doing good? You doing good? I hope you're doing all right. So, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, but you know,
cars have come a long way with electronics and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I will say that with Cybertruck and Teslas, man, they need to dial back the tech on that one too much. And I mean dial it back in the sense that, not have the whole thing dependent on an app and all dependent on whether or not if it's charged or whether or not if the operating system has been updated or anything like that.
Right.
Dial it back on some of that. Make the locks and operation, make that independent. I mean, if you want to have an onboard thing, for GPS, great. For radio, great. For monitoring stuff around the engine, okay, great. But past that, then it's kind of murking into territories of where it essentially causes your safety, puts your safety at risk, So
yeah,
gotta dial it back a little bit. Dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, I saw they made these they're hydrogen cylinders, I believe, and they convert hydrogen to electricity. You just plug them into the car. You plug them into the car without actually going to like a charging station. So I was trying to think of where I saw them. 1984 Cutlass Calais. I remember that. Man, that brings back some memories. Bad memories, but memories nonetheless.
Like Jay Thomas is in a good mood. Or at least she's in a silly mood today.
She's in a silly mood? Okay.
Right. But I will say though, man, for me, there are pros and cons with every vehicle, and the Teslas have their pros, but they just have way too many cons.
I'm introduced by cons, so
way too many cons introduced by cons and pushed and peddled and sold by cons. So there's that.
On the White House lawn.
On the White House lawn. Jesus Christ.
The Tesla. I was like, is he trying to say Tucker? Maybe
right?
The Tucker? The Tesla?
A Tesla?
Tesla.
Like I was fully expecting on a whole, come on down to Donnie T's Tesla's mobile sale. We got Teslas in red. We got Cybertrucks. We got them all. Come on down to
We got Teslas in Nazi red.
So come on down to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to Donnie T's Tesla blowout sale.
Got it in Ku Klux Klan white. No problem. Sure. Thanks. Michael Pruitt said, do you guys remember all the crazy features it was going to have for $25,000? How did it get to half of the features at $100,000?
Well, that's a good question. I wish I had an answer for you.
We talking about the Cyber? Wait, you're talking about the Cybertruck, right? The Tesla Cybertruck. Tesla Cybertruck. Had to get to 100,000 just by hype. People are like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's this, it's that." The one thing I did see that kind of boosted the mystique of it was there was a game that I play called Occupy Mars. Okay. And the Tesla Cybertruck is in that game. It's basically a Cybertruck, but it has like solar panels on it, and it has a it has four wheels in the back and 2 wheels in the front. It's all electric. You plug it into like a solar panel, or you could plug it into like a wind charging station on Mars. That's one of the things that kind of created the mystique, because people were seeing that and they were showing that picture from the game, and people were like, oh, I can have one that's going to be on Mars, and I could be one of the first, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah,
of course. And Magpie in the YouTube comments said, come get your swastika cars for only 5,000
pebbles.
I mean, for and again, it's such a horrible car, and I don't mean that. Well, I mean just naturally because of his looks, but I mean just because of how it operates.
Yeah,
it is just flawed for no reason other than it just never was. It seemed like it never was properly tested.
Right.
Which, it's all fine and good,
it is being properly tested by the people who bought them.
Well, yeah, the ones that survive.
Those are those test guinea pigs who bought.
The ones that survive.
100, like an $80,000 car, $100,000 car.
Yeah, absolutely, and yes, Magpie. Yeah, it looks exactly like a badly designed Minecraft mod.
If the Batmobile were in Minecraft, yes.
So oh my God! I hope it was not.
One thing I would like to see is an electric Black Beauty. That would be awesome. It would definitely have the torque and the speed, like electric Batmobile or electric,
It would. So it would. Just as long as it's not a Cybertruck. Jesus. Jeez.
Electric tumbler would be good to have.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have an electric tumbler. I kind of have like a hybrid tumbler.
The hybrids are fine. Hybrids fine. At least it would not be all the operating system and all dependent on this and all dependent on that. I mean, you at least be able to open up the doors and unlock them without being trapped inside or being trapped inside while it's set on fire. So
they did that for aerodynamics, and it was a really cool feature. But I was like, okay, so the fob for the Tesla is, as you get closer to the car, there's a proximity. I believe there's like a proximity signal, where the handle kind of pops out, and then you just the handle, you open up the door, and then when you get in, it closes. The one thing I do like about and I think it's the only thing I really like about the car is it has cameras on the side, you know.
Okay.
So because I've seen I've seen thing where I've seen like videos where people have keyed the car on the side, and you don't think it's
Mm-hmm.
looking, but it actually
That
it looks
it
with
sees and
it has
records. Records everything that happens.
yeah it looks from the mirrors. Actually, it's looking and it's looking at the mirrors, or there are cameras that are in uh yeah there's cameras in the mirrors that look backwards, and then
Mm-hmm.
there were cameras I think in one of the rear that look forwards on the side. I thought it was, but it was very interesting. I said, okay, well, that's cool.
Huh. Now that's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some good features on it, but the thing is that all of those features, I mean, you could upgrade that, to with a regular car yourself and still have a lot more control than be completely dependent on a glitchy operating system.
Right, right.
You
I
know,
mean, if you, um, I mean, I do like the hybrids. The hybrid cars are good because, um, you can still use gasoline.
hmm
They still use a little bit of electric, like
yeah,
when you're starting out the car. Because we have a friend of ours actually has a Honda, and it's the hybrid. So it basically has a
mhm,
battery pack in the back of the car.
right,
It's an SUV, so where you
and
would put your stuff, in the trunk, it has the battery.
right,
Okay, you could fill it up with gasoline. When you turn the car on and you start the car, it doesn't start to gas automatically. It stays with electric because as you're braking, with like
mm,
regenerative braking,
yeah.
um,
I think,
as you're using it, on the highway, it's charging up the batteries. But once you get to local traffic, it switches over. Like if you get to under 20 miles per hour, I believe it
um,
switches over to battery automatic. Now you can have this as an automatic
um,
option. You can also disable it if you just want to stay with the regular gas. But
yeah.
but
Now,
but the car sounds like a spaceship when you actually like when you hit that button and you start it up, it goes and it just goes and it just I'm like
yeah,
it
I
sounds like a space. It sounds like Luke Skywalker's land speeder, taking off, man. I'm like, it's weird. It's weird. It's really weird. Like the Hondas have that. The Hondas
so
have that. I think the Mazdas have that as well.
I had
But
a coworker at an automotive when I worked at Walmart in automotive, and that one time a hybrid came in, and I think that what he said was that once you reach like 25 or 30, 35 miles an hour, something like it switches to gas.
yeah,
But he said when he cranked it up and started, it sounded kind of like that. I think the way he described it was like it sounded like a really loud golf cart
yeah,
type of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like really weird. I when I lived in Parsippany, my friend uh had she had a mechanic shop which was around like around the corner from my house, and I used to go there every so often, you know, and I went there for
Mm,
lunch one day, and they had a electric. It was an all electric Mini Cooper,
okay.
and one of the guys was like testing out the brakes. So they had to do the brakes for it. He goes, "Hey, you want to go for a ride with me?" I said, "Sure." Went on the 287. Dude, I like, is this? I said, is this car on? And he goes, "Yeah, it's." He goes, "It's all electric." I said, "I don't see any light." I like, like I didn't see any lights on the dashboard. There's no activation light on it. So I was like, how do you know it's on? He goes, check this out. He puts his put the pedal down to the floor. And they just went boom. We were like, it was like Doc Brown's DeLorean, man. We were like, go, yeah, just in the seat. And he goes, and that's not even how fast it goes. Check this out. We get on the 287 main stretch of highway, and we went from like zero to 65 miles per hour in like 2.5 seconds. I was like, wow, this thing is so cool. I was like, and it's small, and it's, it was like really, really fast. Had a lot of torque to it, but I was like, wow, thing was like awesome. But yeah.
that's hilarious.
Doing
the
brakes,
great.
I was like, that's so cool.
Oh, that is great.
All, but it didn't, like, like when you actually put, the pedal down, and like when you put the pedal to the metal, it had this, like it just sounded like, it sounded like the motor was just going to come out of the car, but it was so funny. It was really cool.
It's Michael Pruitt in the chat says, my little Nissan Leaf gives you no audible feedback. You can't tell.
Yeah.
You can't tell if you're moving or not sometimes. But you also get no feedback through the steering wheel. It's like,
yeah. You get no, you don't get any feedback. Yeah, because
oh my God, that
power steering.
That would frustrate me so bad. Because I don't know. Said my sweet.
I have to put like a light that it's on.
Like something
like on.
Say, hey, on. Cranked up, powered up. Something. Like a green light, red light, blue light, something. Magpie said, me looking up car brands to go back to the glory days where little me could name every car.
Yep.
And which is funny that sometimes that some people may think that, because we're so inclined in tech and whatnot that, we would embrace the Cybertruck, or we would embrace the technology of Cybertruck. No.
Well, we would have if Elon.
We would if it was
like
properly tested.
If he stayed in his own lane.
Yeah.
Okay. You stay in your own lane.
So right? Just
don't get into politics. Don't try to dismantle all this stuff. I mean, I know you want a tax break and everything, but
just really? stay a car salesman.
Yeah.
Just stay a car salesman. That's all you got to do. Just stay a car salesman.
He invented this. He invented that. He didn't invent anything. He just bought it. That's all he did. He doesn't invent anything. He's not he's not an inventor. He's not he's got Neuralink. Now, somebody else created Neuralink, and he just basically invested his money in it. That's all he did.
Yeah. And Jay Thomas in chat says, does a Tesla tell you when it's about to self-destruct? As far as I know, it does not. As far as I know, it does not give you any indication of whether or not if there's any error that means something's going to catch on fire or anything like that.
When you drive it off the lot, that's when it's going to self-destruct. It's like Delta Airlines. You know what Delta stands for? Don't ever leave the airport. Delta Airlines. There you go. Tesla.
Needless to say,
don't ever leave the dealership.
So just leave the Tesla there. leave it right there.
All your hopes and dreams are gonna go away.
Oh,
after you make that purchase.
Says, how much of his net worth did Elon lose? As far as what I understand right now, he said potentially to lose all of his wealth. Because from what I understand, that when he bought Twitter, it was all tied up into his Tesla stock. So now with people not buying Tesla, he's not able to pay back the loan on buying Twitter. So that means he would lose everything. And the only way that he may be able to make any kind of money back would be to sell his Tesla and Twitter stock.
Which are worth almost nothing because people are torching Teslas all over the world.
Yeah. And
in Vegas, I saw that Vegas fire.
Said they were torching Teslas everywhere.
In France, I saw that in France.
And nobody's on X anymore. Ain't nobody on X anymore. Ain't nobody on Twitter.
I don't understand these people. I mean, if you're, why would you try to destroy the very thing that is keeping you in, in money? Like, you're destroying the lives of your customers. Wouldn't you try to make them richer by by like staying out of Social Security, staying out of Medicare and Medicaid and all this other stuff, and making people healthier so that they live longer, so that they buy more stuff? Because we're all consumers. This is capitalism. At its best. Why would you do that to your base and just figure that people are, they're going to buy my Teslas no matter what? It's like, no.
I said no.
They're not going to have money. They're not going to be alive to do that.
Yeah. I mean, you're literally taking everything from them in order to be able to buy a Tesla, and then you're claiming and you're crying that they're not buying a Tesla. It's like, no, man. No. Ain't nobody want that. Ain't nobody want that, man. But yeah, I mean, he's Magpie. Yeah, he's. There's been people predicting that he's set to lose all of his wealth because of people not buying Teslas. That's why he's tried so hard, and it's been reported him crying because of that. So, I think so far currently he's lost, like I want to say like 100 billion or a little over 100 billion already. Like he's already lost. So
he's gonna. I guess he's gonna have to go to Jeff Bezos, for like a loan or something like that.
I guess so.
Or Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, Michael Pruden in chat says 2 points. 1, RFK is going to make us healthy by getting rid of riboflavin. And 2, none of these people are smart enough to look in the future. Yeah, it's gimme now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah.
It's a grift. That's what it is.
It is. It's all grift.
It's a department of grifting efficiency. They're efficient. They're efficiently grifting.
Yeah,
taking money from the American people. That's all they're doing.
Right. So they've gotten their grifting down just like that.
I never thought I would live to, I just never thought I would live this long. I mean, to see this happening.
Like, this is something you would see in a movie or something. Like, it just...
in Civil War.
Yeah.
And like the movie Civil War.
Like, it doesn't... It makes sense. Like, it feels like this... It feels like we should be, like second act, like somewhere, like hopefully, like end credits are coming soon or something. I mean, like there's gonna be some kind of some kind of resolution where everybody, we
hopefully
have,
it's going to be like a Marvel movie where they show the end credits and then they show you a scene to continue the next movie. That would be really cool.
Or, where we have, where it ends and we have our whole, kumbaya moment. Everything is great and we're, blah, 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 we're all prosperous and whatnot. And then, come on. Can we just, please? I'm tired of being in the second act, man.
Thomas, no, we are not doomed. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
Just hopefully it's not a train.
It has just been shut off because Canada is...
hopefully that light is not a train. So
yeah, hopefully not. It'd be like the movie Daredevil with Ben Affleck, where he goes, you see that light? That's not heaven. That's the sea train.
All right.
Jose Posada and the rest of Jose Posada.
So Magpie says 2025 hates me. I need some good news once in a while, especially after February. Hopefully we'll get some good news that we'll wake up tomorrow and see that, Elon Musk is broke.
Yeah, and maybe, with it, I'm not really hoping for it, but I'm kind of like secretly wishing for it that, McDonald's actually, that the McDonald's hamburgers have done its evil work,
Yeah, we get a 2-for-1.
Get that big Widowmaker, heart attack.
Yeah, we get that 2-for-1. Tomorrow we get a Elon is broke. And the Widowmaker has come.
Jay Thomas said Trump might ban all the good books. I read that story. That was called Fahrenheit 451, where all books were banned in the future.
Yeah, and that's exactly the route he's going to.
Yeah.
So,
although maybe the top selling book might be Hillbilly Elegy. You never know.
That and Mein Kampf. Those would be the only 2 books that'll be available. No tech manuals, no. Oh, of course, no DEI ones.
Oh, yeah.
But
I saw on on Instagram they had a picture of Don Jr., Eric Trump, and Ivanka, and it was DEI. It spelled out DEI, which I thought was awesome.
Oh my god, that is hilarious. I would say it was years ago in which it was an interview in which Don Jr. said the smartest and the dumbest thing at the same time. Because this was during a time when Trump had got booted off all social media. And just before he made Truth Social, Don Jr. went on an interview and said, oh, yeah, well, Elon, he could just whip us up something in like 10 seconds flat or something like that. And I was like, if Elon was that genius, that smart genius, he's absolutely right. If Elon was that super genius that he claims to be, Don Jr. was completely right in that statement. Yeah, he could whip you up something 10 seconds flat, metaphorically speaking, But
what, you mean like a 3D printed steak or what? Like,
a whole True Social before it was True Social type of thing, type of app.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if Elon Musk was the true tech genius that he was, and John Jr. was right on that one. But what ended up happening? Oh, no, he got about $44 billion and spent it on an app. An app that he could have whipped up in 10 seconds flat. And what's to stop him from, because, hey, he's a billionaire. How difficult would it have been for him being a billionaire to say, hey, I'd made my own app. Come on over for free speech. But no, instead,
certify for $8 a day or $8 a month. I forget what it was. Was it $8?
I don't know, probably $8 a day now.
Probably $8 a day.
It probably is $8 a day now. I don't know. Last I looked, it was $8 a month. Well, the way
$8 in Bitcoin. I don't know.
Probably. Magpie's exclusive. President Donald Trump jumped by magpie birds.
I think,
like I said, the smartest and dumbest thing that he said at the same time, because that was the first thing that kind of exposed Elon for the tech genius he really is.
Yeah. I think I put a suggestion I think in the chat this morning for Sound of Coffee. They should do the MAGA meter, because I think Thomas said about
is that the thing Thomas went on about wanting to do a shirt about
like the stupidity of people, and it got to like 60%, or I was like, well, you should have like a MAGA meter. The guys on the on the EverQuest chat, they sent this thing called the Carometer. I don't know if I've ever sent that to you.
Oh,
it's a meter, and it has it has care on it, but it's like down to like 0. It's hilarious. I gotta send that to you.
Oh my god! So Magpie says, just so you know, if a bird does shit on his head, it's me. So, look, he shits on himself, so you don't need a bird to shit on him, okay?
No,
He's already got shitting on himself covered, literally. But yeah, Jay Thomas, before Elon changed it, Twitter was good. Was it great? No. It was good. But when Elon got his $44 billion, crime mitts into it, it became a whole cesspool. And that's being nice. Just a cesspool of just hate. Like no other way to say it, just hate. Just hate and shitty cars.
Shitty electric cars.
Shitty electric Cybertrucks. At least with the actual design of the Teslas, they look decent. The Cybertrucks, though, jeez. And then last night get started on all of the spaceships that have exploded while trying to get us to Mars.
I sent you the one that I got from the guys from EverQuest on the EverQuest. it's hilarious.
Oh, that is great.
No one cares.
This is great.
The Carometer.
Oh yeah,
this
is great.
Not even a little. I'm serious. That's great.
Oh my god, yeah.
If we could put pictures in the chat and the Sound of Coffee, man, that would be great. I would love to do that.
Yeah, but I don't think YouTube allows that because people get reckless with that shit.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
They get reckless with that. Oh, that's it. Magpie. Magpie in the chat says he just took a sewer ecosystem and dumped nuclear waste into it. Now it's like Chernobyl. You literally can't cross. You literally can't cross it without your organs forming a pretzel. And you are 100% correct. Without a shadow of a doubt, you are 100% correct.
Yeah.
The internet used to be fun until Elon came along. The internet used to be fun until Donald Trump came along. The internet used to be fun.
Yeah. It was, it was a place of exploration, a place of wonder.
Exploration.
Now I wonder. Wonder if it's still going to be around.
Right, and exploration and good memes. Now it's just.
It had hope. People were helping people. People were doing really cool things.
Right.
The Flipper Zero was actually created from hope.
Right. The Flipper Zero was created to teach people for educational tool.
Yeah, like Twitter with the little bird. Oh well, the little bird told me, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cute." It's Twitter, and all of a sudden it became X. I'm like, and it had this black background with the white. I'm like, what the hell is? What kind of Nazi shit is this? Like, sorry.
It's like
swear jar.
No, it's just for.
Oh, just for
F-bombs. So you're fine.
Oh no, sorry.
So Jordan, I know Gretchen is scary. I know she's scary, but it's just for F-bombs.
Well, I kind of have an out on that because I am building the throne room chair, for her. So
you're good until it's done.
I can curse up until the point
so
where
you're good.
The chair, and afterwards I have to watch what I say. No.
There you go. No. So you're good until she.
I wouldn't do that.
You're good until she gets the chair.
If I swear too much on these shows, I might get the chair. You never know. So.
But yes, Magpie. Everything used to be fun until rich people started doing rich people shit. Till rich people started doing rich people shit, everything was fun.
We need to get a Flipper Zero so we could do really horrible things to rich people. So there you go.
Right. I mean, for educational purposes, again.
For educational purposes only.
For YouTube is for educational purposes only. For everybody going out the internet is for education. We're not going to.
I did see I saw a hacker site the other night. I was just going through the internet, going through all these things. It was a hacker kit, but you had to put the whole thing together. It came with all the circuit boards, it came with all the circuits, and it came with instructions on how to put it together. So I was like, all right. And it had the for educational purposes only disclaimer on the bottom of the of the thing, and I was like, oh, okay, so they sell the kit, and the kit, it wasn't that expensive. It was like under $100. I forget what site it was. It was CWS. It was hacker.net. So I forget what it was. Anyway, they had the kit, and it was a flash. It was like a special flash drive, or you could take a flash drive that you have, and then take this circuit and put the circuit into the flash drive. And I was wondering what it was. It was a it was a data dump. And what you could do is you could take an ordinary flash drive, you can hook this special circuit into the flash drive, and then what you did was it had a USB port on it. It also had a USB-C adapter for like the newer laptops. And what you did was you took this, you put it into a USB port. It would find everything in the computer, all your passwords, all of your websites that had all your passwords on them, all your Facebook, your banking information, all this other stuff, and dump it to the flash drive. And I was like, oh, that's very interesting. It just went through the whole computer. So instead of you going to all the sites and looking at the history, it went, it went through, it found the user folder and found all your passwords, even for the laptop or the computer you were on. You could put it on there. The other one I saw, Hack 5 actually has it. It's a Metasploit hack. So basically, it is it's an Ethernet cable adapter on one end and an Ethernet port on the other. And what you would do is you could put this anywhere on the network in a building. If you were in a building, say, and you were at work or whatever, you take it, you plug it into the cable, or like you would plug the cable into it, plug it into a computer in the back or a printer, and it would map the entire network of everything that's on that network. It would map the network, and then it also had provisions where it would take the mapping of the network of all the MAC addresses that are on that network and put it to it could get out to the internet and then go to a VPN of your choice and put it, and like upload all that information, and then you would have a network map of everything on that network. If you have like MAC address, you can get into those computers, through the MAC address. And I was like, wow, this is really cool, but for educational purposes only. So,
absolutely.
But I saw that doesn't really change. He is a radioactive analog orange Oompa Loompa reject. Yes.
And I cannot disagree with that. That is an actual factual statement right there. That he is a radioactive analog orange Oompa Loompa reject. I detect no lies on that one.
You are correct, sir.
But this for the life of me, I did not see Elon crying about no one buying a Cybertruck and my 2025 bingo card.
Well, I mean, what do you want? You make 25 kids with 3 different women or 4 different women, and
all in vitro.
You're gonna have to support. You're gonna have to support all these people.
They're all in vitro, and he does everything he can to get out of paying child support. How you are the richest man, and you don't want to.
That's why he's the richest man.
Well, yeah, that's true. You have that many kids. You have that many kids, and you have that much money. Yeah, you're gonna pay.
His rockets are blowing up. His Cybertrucks, his Teslas, are burning at the dealership.
Like people are burning his Teslas down, and his rocket ships are blowing up. It's crying everywhere. You know,
those astronauts are probably on that space station going, "No, don't say." It's like
no.
there's a movie with Steve Martin. It's Roxanne, where he has like the long nose, and
Yeah.
and he's training all the fire crew for the fire station. He goes, okay, here's something we don't want people to say. We don't want people to say, "Oh my God, there's a fire. Don't send the fire department." It's like Elon in SpaceX, like
right.
Don't get him involved. We'll die, on the way down.
Right. Yeah. And he should partner up with OceanGate to make a starship, and
There you go.
he should pilot it.
There you go.
And he should pilot it and go up to the space station along with Trump and get the 2 astronauts and bring them down. That's what he should do. As with him, Elon, and all of their best friends. All of their billionaire best friends.
I saw a video that somebody, it was AI. It was done so well. It was from Diamonds Are Forever. Where Blofeld is in the he's in like the bathtub, but they put Elon Musk's face on it.
Again, this
and Sean Connery's taking like the crane and like bashing the sub into the thing that and it explodes. It was hilarious. And the guy, and the guy who's announcing the countdown is Trump. And like going,
of course,
10 minutes and counting. It was hilarious, dude.
And again, with the AI stuff, man. Look, there's this one video I saw. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was like it was an AI video that one of the scene was Trump on his knees kissing Elon's feet.
Oh yeah, kissing Elon's feet. But he had
the whole thing was there was
he had 2 right feet.
Yeah,
2 right feet. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like little stuff like that. I mean, if you're not at first glance, you look at it as like, oh shit, because it until you look at the feet or you look at the hands or you look at details like that, it looked like Trump and it looked like Musk.
I think they were showing that in a government office, weren't they?
Yeah.
On the TVs of the government office.
Yeah, the government. Yes, that's it. That's right. So government office, in the White House thing. Yeah. And again, if you at first glance looking at it, it was like, oh shit. But when you look closer and you look at the hands and you look at the 2 right feet thing, then yeah, you clearly see, okay, this is AI. It's good AI. Somebody definitely put some work into it. If they sunk a little bit of money into it, then it would pass pretty much almost every test. Because
one of my prop maker friends is gonna make this space helmet for Trump for SpaceX, and the shield is orange,
right?
But the clear shield, when you put the clear shield up, it shines an orange light on you, so your face looks orange. But it came with space gloves, and the space gloves are like a size extra small.
Oh my god!
I thought it was hilarious. And then the chest unit looked like it looked like the Republican, it looked like the Republican symbol,
right?
And how they have the stars that are actually supposed to be like the feet of the elephant were like the knobs for the for the thing, and then the trunk went right into the helmet, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. But it came with extra small space gloves,
Oh my
like
god,
every helmet did.
that is hilarious.
I have to find it. I'll find it. I'll find it one day for you. Go find it. It's hilarious. He posted it. I think he did a Photoshop. He posted. He goes, "Hey, maybe I should make this one." I was like, "Dude, you'd be in so much trouble." This was.
Yeah.
I think this was. This is. I think. I think. I think when Biden was president, and Trump said he was going to run again, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Because they had, because they had gotten Elon Musk in, and of course. So
yeah, of course. And yeah, absolutely, Magpie. Yes, he is the biggest baby ever. Of course. And everybody's trying to make the excuse of, oh, well, he's autistic. So, he's autistic and blah, blah, blah. At some point, you all just got to say, look, Elon is just a piece of shit.
He's a rich piece of shit, but
at some point,
nonetheless,
the whole autism thing has got to run its course before everybody could just see and admit that he's just a huge piece of shit. And he uses autism as a way to further being a piece of shit. As can be completely oblivious as to like, oh, well, I don't know because, I didn't know that it was wrong because, I'm autistic and I didn't know. And is it me? Am I the only one? Am I the only one that thinks that? Is it me?
No, it's not you. Wait. He's on the spectrum.
Yeah, on the spectrum. Yeah.
If he's on the spectrum, is he more like dark on the spectrum? Kind of like the Empire. Kind of like the rebels and the Empire.
Right.
There's rebels, bounty hunter, Empire. I don't know.
Yeah. Where is he at on this spectrum?
The evil. It's like the evil spectrum.
Yeah.
Spectrum of evil.
I mean,
stupidity.
I mean, with Spectrum, did you bundle it? I mean, because they got the internet and the phone and the cable thing where you get the bundle package. They got sales on that every week from Spectrum. And we've got joining us Jeff Kennedy with the Kennedy Effect, that other side of information. Hello, sir. How are you doing
today?
Good
evening, boss.
We are over here discussing the flawed technology of the cybercar. The very flawed technology of the cybercar.
Yes, the Cybertruck that's glued together, where the glue doesn't hold on the front bumper.
Yes.
Apparently, they can't get that right.
Right, and just considering that from what George has told me, the steps of how, I'm not sure. From the steps of what George has said on how to charge a Tesla.
Tesla.
How we charge a Tesla.
It's a Tesla.
It's a Tesla. Show me how to charge a Tesla. It's just like there's so many pros and cons. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And it's because if I was in the tax bracket, I probably would understand, but even then I know I still won't.
Yeah,
and again, it's just that technology is just it is so flawed, and it just went so overboard with trying to make it all tech and all this and self-driving and it's all this and da 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 da. Like,
Oh, the self-driving was
the
hilarious.
self-driving,
The guy,
yeah,
but did you see when they put the they put the four cones around the car and the car just wouldn't move
uh-huh,
for the self-driving car?
yeah.
Like that's awesome.
And again, it's just, for me, the whole self-driving thing, I see it, for me, it's not perfected yet, so I'm hesitant and leery about that about that piece of technology.
Right.
You know,
Well,
um,
the thing is that the infrastructure is not there yet.
right?
You know, the
Yeah,
infrastructure has to be there. That I mean, that's like the flying cars. They have all these flying. Oh, we have this flying car. Like I don't trust people on the road.
right. Much
You,
less now.
I'm going to trust somebody with a flying car. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
no, and it's like,
People are.
and how do I know that this person that's in this flying car all of a sudden doesn't just take a nosedive and land right on top of me?
Yeah.
Because
Like,
I'll be damned if I'm gonna be a flying car and I'm flying my ass out. I'll be damned. No. And Jeff raises a good point on this one. It said the fact that you can only see behind you with a camera that can break off and become so dirty that you can't see out of it.
yeah.
I mean, that's again another con to a long list of cons that's sold by a car that's sold by a con from another con by another con. Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of cons to this.
there's a lot of cons. A lot of cons to the truck. There's a lot of cons to the con that's selling the cons of the truck. You know, there's a lot of cons to the cons that's selling the con, and another con that's sponsoring the con that's selling the con. It's too many cons. Con.
Yeah. That's all we need now. Is Con Noonien Singh. That's
Right? And it's just
it. Yeah. It.
we're doomed.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, we haven't figured out the safety factor for cars on the road yet. We're
Right.
getting a little bit better.
But
Uh,
we're not at the point where
Cars are a little bit more like a little bit more intelligent. Case in point, the Mazda. Okay, my wife has a Mazda. The CX-5. We had one since 2017. It's a very safe car. The electronics in it make the car very safe. It has it's not electric. It is a gas-powered car. It's 4-cylinder, but it does have radar cruise, which I really like. The radar cruise, you can set the distance that you are away from under the car. The pros of it are if somebody comes and cuts you off, the radar cruise sends out a pulse, and then to the car in front of you, and it maintains that distance. If somebody comes and cuts you off, it maintains the distance and slows the car down.
right.
But if that car should stop short, the braking distance you could set the braking distance from like from one car. I think the shortest is 1 car length, but you can put it up to 4 car lengths.
Okay.
So if you're traveling at 65 miles per hour, which is the speed limit, and then you're going 72,
Right.
it will and it tries to look all around to see where other stuff is, in the roadway, so that if there is an accident where somebody hit the car in front of you and that car just stopped, it should
Yeah.
it should have enough braking distance to stop it.
Right.
And that's what I like about it. So that's the intelligent thing that they did with the radar cruise. Radar cruise is cool. If there's nobody in front of you, say it's like nighttime, and there's nobody in front of you for miles, radar cruise is wonderful. You could stay at that speed that you set on the steering column, and you're good to go. Okay. It's just like you just have to just hold on to the steering wheel and drive. You don't have to. You don't have to press any. You don't have to press any acceleration. You don't have to accelerate or anything like that. It keeps it a steady thing. That's the Skyactiv technology. The Skyactiv technology actually saves you gas while you're driving, and then when you're done with your trip, it tells you how much gas you saved. And I'm like, this is really cool. It's a really cool system. That's where the electronics are good. Where the electronics are not so good is when you have to update certain maps. You have to update a map, or there is something now where there was an update so you could do Apple Play from your phone, but we don't have that. We don't have that upgrade. So the upgrade is we would have to get a special SD card, from Mazda that's programmed for the car, put it in there, and then update the maps and all this other stuff. Because things change. Like roadways change. They close off certain roadways.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania here, they closed off a main roadway. And they're actually redeveloping the on and off ramps of this roadway, so they have to change the map. That's why they would change the map.
Yeah,
on your car.
Yeah, same thing they do here with which one was it? I-77.
Right.
Yeah, they did the same thing. They closed off one roadway and opened up another exit. And so, of course, maps had to change on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
usually you get those updates through a flash drive. It doesn't really come to the car. If the car is smart enough, like the new Hondas have a Bluetooth system.
Right.
And have something where you can actually connect to it's Honda Connect, I believe it's called. If you're at your house, you can connect to your Wi-Fi network in your house. It'll update all your maps automatically. It'll update everything in the car, like your radio, everything, all this other stuff, which is pretty cool.
That's cool. That's cool. Magpie says, Magpie in the chat says, their ship would be either called Don Elon, True Musk, or Teslump.
Teslump.
I like Teslump. Everybody call it Teslump. I like Teslump. Jeff says, but it's still good enough for the U.S. military to buy $400 million worth of them. And the U.S. military spent $400 million on shit.
They spent $400 million on electric skateboards that have no traction, no torque. Well, it might have torque, but
they spent it on shit.
Yeah, they should have. They should have given the military contract, to Rivian. I think Rivian would have, made out better.
Hell, I'd have done better than that. Just come on, man. So we're coming close to the end of the show. So coming up next is, of course, naturally, in the chat, the other boss of GCPR. We've got TKing tonight with Jeff Kennedy. After that, we've got the Hurricane Girls with Sheila Chappelle and her crew, and then in ending the night, we have conversations with T. Nathan. So, stick around, and you'll learn something, have a good laugh, and yeah, you will definitely enjoy the program we have got coming up. This show is brought to you in part by cns-computers.com. You went to the wrong site, didn't you? Yeah, you did. You got a Cybertruck, and the update didn't happen right. Well, they can't help you with the Cybertruck, but they can help you with anything else. If you take your system down there, they can get all the viruses off, take all of the malware, get rid of the worms, everything like that. Or if you want to make a new system, they can build you a new system. They can get you everything that you need except for a Cybertruck. They don't deal with Cybertrucks. They don't like Cybertrucks. We don't like Cybertrucks. They don't like Cybertrucks.
If it's if it's computerized, electronic, or electrical, I could possibly fix it. So,
just not a Cybertruck. Don't do Cybertruck. Anyways, go to cns-computers.com, servicing the East Stroudsburg and Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania area. Get yo fixed. Tell them George sent you. You might get a discount. You might not. I don't know. But try it anyways. We'll see. cns-computers.com. This has been a great show, man.
Yeah.
It's been a great show. Had a lot to talk about, you know.
Yeah. We had
the pros and the cons.
I want to thank everybody in the chat for,
Thanks, everybody, for kind of interacting with us and joking about the Cybertrucks.
I think we should come up with the test lump, T-shirt. There you go.
We need a test lump T-shirt. Yes, test lump
T-shirt with the MAGA meter on it. The test lump logo.
That's what I'm gonna do.